There will be a link in the description for a video version of this without commentary if you do not want to see my face or hear my voice, so check out for that. It's just kind of like a VOD of what happened. But going on, this is the semifinals and finals of the Balance Beyond Reddit 100k tournament that we did recently on our DuelLinks. I'm one of the moderators on the team and one of the team moderators for the team Grandpa's Cards, where we made it into the semifinals, and we'll be watching the semifinal match right now. The names of the players involved do not match their Reddit usernames, so I'll be linking in the description as well what their Reddit usernames were compared to their DuelLinks usernames. So first up, we're going to have Blair versus Arcana. Blair is as Ninja in the semifinalist and is using Shiranui. Now, of course, we can see their hand, but as a spectator during this duel, I was not able to see their hand, but I had to record the replay rather than the live recording because of space on my phone, because I actually use my phone to record these videos. So starting off with Shiranui, Shiranui is able to synchro summon immediately. Well, I guess not immediately. Yeah, immediately. After Arcana took their turn. And is able to synchro summon into Sun Saga with the level augmentation with Blair. Now, as a reminder, this was a 3 UR, 3 SR main deck restriction. And the extra deck had a little bit, I think 1 UR and 2 SRs. I'm a team moderator, I should know this, but I don't know off the top of my head. So we got a Quintet Turbo is what Arcana is doing. That Gravekeeper was an awesome addition to the deck, but we got some Charge the Light Brigades as their main SR card. Throwing a bunch of different cards into the graveyard so that they can get Quintet out as fast as possible. We're going to have a deck breakdown after this duel, or after all the duels, and we're going to see that Quintet Magician was actually very, very low. A Quintet Turbo was very low on the list of decks that were involved in general, so the fact that it made it to the semifinals is awesome. Now, Ninja still has a bunch of cards it can do. Arcana brought out Zeta. Zeta will banish some cards, and Quintet will be put into defense mode and cannot destroy everything because of Sun Saga's effect. Sun Saga will protect a bunch of cards and get another tuner back in the field. Zeta will banish Sun Saga and itself, and then Arcana will have 0 cards left in his deck. So all Ninja has to do, Blair has to do, is pass turn and Arcana loses. So that's Ninja's first win. The opponent decked out on the semifinals of this tournament, which is awesome. I keep referring to Ninja and Arcana, but Abduelist is the duelist who is playing Arcana. I will also, like I said before, I will link what their Reddit name is in the description of the video, so there's no confusion. But for me, from my experience right now, I'm just going to refer to their DuelLinks name, so I'm not going to get too confused. So for round 2, there's best of 3 if you didn't know. We are going up again with Shiranui going first. Squire will be able to bring Spectral Sword from the deck onto the field, and level augmentation with Blair's skill will be able to transfer it so that he can synchro summon into Sun Saga in one synchro summon rather than having to go through Squire Saga first. He sets 2 cards and pass. Chocolate Magician Girl comes out, sends a card, but gets Providenced by sending a Spectral Sword to the graveyard. Magician Girl is popped, but Minerva can use its effect. It mills a card, and then he surrenders because you're going to get OTK'd after that. So Ninja wins the semifinal round by a deck out and a surrender, which is really interesting for a tournament in my opinion. So next up we got one of my guys, Gayle Wolfe, who is actually Arachnophobic, I believe, on Reddit. Like I said, it'll be linked in the description. But Gayle Wolfe is Grandpa's Cards, the last semifinalist, and he's playing Mokuba Kaiba. And then the perspective we were on is Akiza. And Akiza is using Balance with, we're going to see in a second, an Arrow Mage deck. So Gayle Wolfe is playing Super Heavy Samurai and gets to get a Mikashi. I was also playing Super Heavy Samurai and got destroyed on my first duel. I lost, I think, 2-0. So it is really awesome to see that he made it to the semifinals with Super Heavy Samurai, but really bad that he's playing against Arrow Mages, because Arrow Mages pretty much counter everything that Super Heavy Samurai can do, because Rosemary can put them all into attack mode and just get past them really easily. So Kanadia, being Akiza's UR card, gets to flip down some cards and not negate, but destroy the back row that was equipped to it. And Kanadia can then special summon from the graveyard with Blessed Wind being activated. And no matter what Gayle Wolfe does at this point, Air Mages are going to be able to destroy and get over him. There's not really much anything he could have done there. So that's game 1. Our winner for game 1 of the semifinals is PZ. PZ underscore. sad for me because I'm a little biased, because obviously I wanted my team to win, but it's still very interesting to be able to watch the semifinals, especially from the perspective of the player that's not my team member. So going into round 2, we got looking through PZ again, his perspective. So we got Aroma Gardening coming up, 2 sit downs, and Laurel come from the hand, and then a normal summon of Rosemary. Gardening will activate its effect, giving 1,000 life points. Then he'll chain a few of his card effects to synchro summon after that into Aeroseraphid, whatever, Rosemary, the synchro version. So we got Giga Gloves in the grave. So when, I'm sure you guys know, but when Giga Gloves is in the grave and you get attacked directly and you flip up the main deck, or your main deck card, and it's a Super Heavy Samurai, they get reduced. You get to add that card to your hand. They go to 0. Now that is normally what Super Heavy Samurai relies on if they can't get Ninja out fast enough and Ninja can ODK. But with Aroma cards, if he can get Marjoram on the field or just destroy him like that, Marjoram would have been able to send that from the graveyard and banish it and then it not be effective at all. But he didn't even need to do that because he got destroyed so quickly by PZ and the Aroma Seraphy cards, or the Aroma Aeromage. You know what I'm saying? Aeromage cards. So that's it for the semifinals. PZ and Ninja move on to the final round. The semifinalists each also do win money, and then the semifinalists and finalists win incrementally more money on top of that. So yes, we actually had a cash prize pool for these duels. So here, going on to the final round, we're going to see through the perspective of Ninja again, playing Blair against PZ playing Akiza. So Shiranui, he would have guessed, is in the finals against Aeromages. I was going to say Rosemary's. Aeromages in the final round of the Bonds Beyond Reddit 100k tournament. So we got balance still being ran, and let's see, we got blue going first. So blue would be our Ninja. Samurai Skull will activate, sending Spectral Sword to the grave. He will set 2 face down and pass because he can't do much else at that point. PZ uses Aroma Gardening and Laurel's effect from the hand to special summon Laurel and normal summons Jasmine. Now Jasmine normally would have been able to allow him to draw with the life point boost and get to normal summon again, but Fiendish Chain comes up and negates Jasmine, which was a really good idea on Ninja's part. But then he synchro summons into the Aroma Seraphy. Oh no, he doesn't. He goes into Colossus. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just thinking too much. Colossus comes up. Colossus is a really cool tech card to run in Aeromages. It can reduce the opponent's attack to 0 for 1 turn. And then you could use that to attack in with a boosted Burmafet if you had it or whatnot. But anyways, his Jasmine gets floodgated, so that's 2 Jasmine negated. A Kanade gets chained. Miss Bird Colossus uses its effect on a Shiranui and it gets attacked by Kanadia, which is not a huge deal. Cosmic Cyclone comes out, banishes the back row, which was a second floodgate, which is awesome. No, it's his one first. I'm getting confused. Whatever, this is just a fun duel. We got Squire Saga out, popping cards, Spectral Sword in the graveyard, using its effect, banishing some cards to summon. I believe that's Dark Ruler had. Which one is that? Revived King had this. I was close. I was getting on the point. Squire Saga comes out. Jasmine gets attacked. Konani gets attacked. Life points go from 6k to 4k. And all he can do is set a cards. And Ninja pretty much has the upper hand at this point. And it's kind of unstoppable. And Sun Saga attacks. And Last Shiranui attacks. And that's game 1. PZ gets destroyed. That Fiendish Chain was very helpful for Ninja at the beginning, so that PZ couldn't really go off on that turn except for summoning Colossus. So yeah, Ninja wins for round 1. Going into round 2 now, and we got Ninja going second, still viewing it through his perspective, with the cool different colored playmats going on here, blue and pink and black. So first off will be Akiza, will be PZ setting a card and summoning a Kananga, and using Aroma Gardening to boost up. Kananga will be able to reduce anybody that Ninja summons by 500. So he summons Squire. Squire will be able to summon Spectral Sword from the deck with 2 cards in his hand. That is important. We got another Spectral Sword. Am I saying the wrong names? No, Spectral Swords, right? Stone Saga comes out of the field with a level Og, but PZ pulls a Dry Winds up on the attack. Kananga still destroyed, but all the Aroma cards happen. Stone Saga uses its effect to protect itself by banishing Squire. Squire will be able to send a card to his hand because of that, or to the graveyard. PZ sets of cards is all you can do. So Ninja summons a Squire. Squire uses its effect to get a tuner on the field, and the tuner will be able to synchro summon together to make a Squire Saga. So he's got Squire and Sun Saga on the field right now. Squire Saga uses its effect, pop a Blessed Winds in the back row. Spirit Master will pop Aroma Gardening, and he'll attack for 38, and then 24, and that's game. So we have our winner. Ninja is our winner of the full NinjaSniPAH, is the winner of our full 100k tournament. You will see his exclusive flair and eventually name on the Reddit banner, and his team Reed, will be exclusive flair tune bookmark on the subreddit, so look out for that. If you're using old Reddit, you'll see that picture coming today or tomorrow as I'm recording this. But that is not it. I'm going to do a quick deck breakdown that myself and one of the other moderators put together. Okay, so here is a breakdown. I did the bar graph, and then we had Fong doing the pie graph, which is really awesome. It's definitely better than the bar graph in my opinion. And then the banner, the Bombs Beyond Reddit banner by HeyZ. So we had a bunch of people coming together to just make this simple image. So at the top, we had Arrow Mages with 10 different deck lists submitted with Arrow Mages, and then obviously one making it to the final game. In second, we had 7 Super Heavy Samurai, me included, and one made it to the semifinals, the guy on my team. So that was really awesome to see that. Then we had tied in third is Lunalight and Ritual Beast. A lot of people before the tournament started thought this would be flooded by Lunalight cards and Lunalight decks, and only 6 were entered, so that was interesting to see. Then we have 5 Shiranui decks, including the finalist Ninja, which was really awesome that it wasn't like also flooded by Shiranui, because when we were deciding on how to run this contest, Shiranui was definitely a deck that we talked about a lot that we did not want to see super prevalent. But of course, we can't get rid of a meta in a tournament no matter what restrictions you add, so seeing it was going to happen, and it was pretty obvious that once we saw it in the semifinals, we knew who was going to win. But whatever, it was still cool to watch. Then next, we have a 3-way tie, which would be Subterrors, Metaphys, and Quintet. Quintet made it to the semifinals, but decked out and surrendered, so that kind of sucked to not be able to see them to their full potential. But that was a really cool Quintet deck with a 1 Gravekeeper tech card in it. And then Metaphys and Subterror didn't make it very far, but it's interesting to see decks that were meta like a year, 2 years, I think 1 year ago at the beginning of the year to be in this tournament, so that was pretty cool. Then we had another tie in last place. Would be, well, not last place, but most popular last place. We had Despots and Heroes. And the Heroes were cool because each hero deck actually was a different version of Heroes. We had a Neos hero, we had a favorite hero, and then we had like just this weird Burstinatrix Avion like fusion hero deck that were all in it. And then in other, there was 19 different decks. You can see them on the side here. We had a generic Synchro deck, a Vendred deck, a DD deck. We had UAs, Furhires, Pure Lightsworns, Aliens, Blackluster Soldier, Stromberg, Generic Fusion, 1 Pure Gravekeeper's deck. Then we had World Legacy, Evil Eye, and a pretty cool Cyber Angel deck that didn't go far. Also, one thing, you can see that the Furhires, there was more than just one of them. The second Furhire deck actually ran an Obelisk in it, so that was interesting. I wish that went further, but it did not. And on top of that, we're going to go through the actual deck list that the finalists had. So you'll see here, the finalist Ninja had a pretty normal Shiranui deck, especially with restrictions that were in place. The 3 super rare, 2 of them were the limited to 3, and then his ultra rares were Cosmic, Fiendish, and Floodgate. So that was really cool. Then his extra deck had no super rare, but it did have an ultra rare being Squire Saga, and then just the Sun Saga rares, which I would have thought would have been super rares when they came out, but they're not. And then he ran 1 Power of the Guardians and a pretty generic, like, if you were maybe free to play Shiranuis, you'd probably run this deck because we had the restrictions in place. And then next up, we have the other finalist, PZ. He ran Arrow Mages. He had 1 Kananga, 2 Jasmine, and then his 3 URs were 1 Canadia and 2 Floodgate, which make a lot of sense. You want to have some back row cards to support this when you can't run all the normal super rares like the other tuners that he couldn't run, and any ultra rare that he wanted to add or burr from it. So that's pretty much it. Those are the 2 finalist deck lists. The finalist is done. So look out for everybody on the subreddit, and thank you all for watching. Like I said before, if you want to watch the Duel replays without me talking, you don't want to see my face, you don't want to hear my voice, that will be in the description. No harm, no foul, alright? Thank you all for watching, and hope you guys stick around for potential future tournaments on the subreddit and on my channel.